Hi, everyone. If you don't know me yet, my name is Mrs. Ruiz. I am going to be your environmental science teacher for Inland Online Academy. There's my name. I also teach, my homeschool is Paris High School. I'm in room 1110. So if you ever want to come and say hi, if you're at Paris High School, feel free. I am here. So um, things are mostly running the same from first semester, but there are a few key differences. So I'm just going to go over everything in case you forgot. So this year in class, you will be learning science, of course. It's not the main event. How to properly use the internet. You are in an online class, so you are going to need to know how to use the internet. Learn to complete an assignment within a certain amount of time management, and accountability. If I do my work, I will likely pass my classes. If I don't do my work, I will likely not pass my classes. So, class structure. I will post a weekly module on Canvas. It'll have a list of all the assignments for that link. That link will have directions on how to complete it. We'll go over that a little more in the end when I go to Canvas. We will meet once a week, face-to-face. Not face-to-face, but you know what I mean. On a Google Meet, 2 p.m. every single Thursday. These meetings are mandatory. This is how I count your attendance. For the most part, it is usually either me giving you as directions because a bunch of you have emailed me and you don't understand something, or it's me asking you what you're working on and then letting you work on it and ask questions when you need to. I also have open office hours if you ever need extra help. It's pretty much every other day besides Thursday. I can meet at either 10 or 2. 10 o'clock is my biology class, so I will be here anyways. And then you guys are my 2 o'clock class on Thursdays. So you ever need to meet with me outside of our mandatory face-to-face hour, let me know. Just email me. Websites we'll use. Canvas, make sure you enable notifications for the class announcements. Kahoot sometimes, Google Meet, Edpuzzle, Infinite Campus, and Parent Square. Everybody, you and your parents should have Parent Square. That's how the school communicates with you as well. If English is not your first language, there are many, many tools that you can use. Any work you turn in needs to be in English, but you can use these to help understand the directions in the material. There's a Google Translate web extension. You go to the Google Chrome store, you download the web extension, and then you should be able to right-click and translate anything you see. Canvas is really easy. If you push your mouse pad with 2 fingers, a menu will pop up. You choose the translate option, choose your language, and then all Google documents can also easily be translated. You go to Tools, and it'll go down. You say Translate Document. You get to pick your language. Grading. Classwork and then quizzes and exams are weighted the same. So we do all your classwork and then all your quizzes and exams. Hopefully, if you're not so great at quizzes and exams, if you do all your classwork, it'll even out your grade. And then at the end of the semester, your final is worth 10% of your grade, which can either bring you up a lot. If you have an 55 and you need your grade up 10% and you get an A on your final, your grade goes up 10%. On the other way, if you have a 65 and you don't take the final at all, it will bring you down 10%. So the final could have huge repercussions on your grade, depending on where you're at. Classwork. You will do SmartBook assignments. Those are your notes for each section that we do in the textbook. Virtual worksheets and web quests, Edpuzzles, and discussions. I will post an assignment or a question for you to answer. You also have to respond to your classmates. We actually use those a lot in my college classes. It's how you interact with your classmates since we're not all in the same place. Quizzes and exams. You will have short quizzes after every section. Exam questions will come from the short quizzes, and then your final at the end of the semester will be a collection of all of the chapters that we do during the semester. All quizzes and exams are open notes, so I encourage you to take notes as you are taking the quizzes every single week. we'll get the lockdown browser. This was an issue for some people last semester. So if you don't know what that is, every single quiz and test is attached to the lockdown browser. It closes all your other tabs. You can only have that one tab open while you are taking the quiz or the test. This is already loaded on your school-issued Chromebook. If it is not working properly, there's a Canvas announcement to help you troubleshoot with a bunch of ideas. If you use a different computer other than your school-issued Chromebook, it is up to you to figure out how to load the lockdown browser and how to use it. I am not a tech person. This is your responsibility to figure out. If you need more tech help than that Canvas announcement can give you, IOA has a learning lab every single morning before school. Visit that learning lab, or you can use the district's tech support page. Both will be linked in that Canvas announcement. But if you come tell me, oh, the quiz isn't working because the lockdown browser won't load, that is up to you to figure out. It is already loaded on your school-issued Chromebook. There are things you can do. Power washing your Chromebook usually works. If you're using your own device, you have to figure out how to use it. That is required. Due dates. Pay attention to your Canvas calendar. You should be completing one assignment per day. All assignments have to be submitted in order. You cannot skip ahead to the quiz at the end of the week. You have to do everything in order. Every assignment should be done by Friday. We're going to make it Fridays so you can have your weekend free. But I do accept late work. I will accept late work up until the grading period ends, which is every 6 weeks. So it's January right now. 6 weeks is mid-February. So all the work from the first 6 weeks, I will not accept after whatever the due date is in February, where the 6-week grading period ends. Same with the 12-week, and then obviously the end of the semester. And then materials. You need your Chromebook and your charger. You need notebook. Loose paper is fine too. And then pens and pencils. That's it. Another thing I am going to show you is how to get to the online textbook. Now, I recommend going to get a textbook from your homeschool because then you can use it on your quizzes and tests. But if you're not going to get one, you have to write down in your notebook what you want to be able to use on your quizzes and tests. Like I said, the lockdown browser locks you into that one tab. You should not be using Google. You should not be using ChatGPT to help you answer these questions. You should be using the textbook or your notebook. So the online textbook, you go to ClassLink, and then you want to look for right here where it says McGraw-Hill, this red one. Click on it. And then it should take you to a page. This is what mine looks like because these are all my classes. But you should only have this pretty colorful textbook. So you click on it. It'll take you to a few things. It'll take you to assignments right here, but those will be on Canvas, so you don't really need to worry about that. But here is your ebook options. Your student edition ebook. It is exactly the same as the physical textbook you would get in class. So you have your table of contents here. Contents, click on it. We are starting the semester at chapter 5. There's your chapter 5 introduction. You read it. That is where this is where all the information from all your quizzes and tests come from, is the textbook. Okay? And then Canvas. We're going to go to Canvas. IOA Environmental Science, that is what this is called. I'm going to view it as a student so you can see what I'm talking about. But the important links at the top, there's your mental health resources. There's some local ones. There's just some 1-800 numbers. There's some texting. There's the suicide hotline. There's all kinds of stuff on there. The district calendar, if you want to know when breaks are, we have that week off in February. We have our spring break. How to access the online textbook is the exact same thing I just showed you. And then click here. It's every week. Click here to join your weekly IOA Google meeting. So every Thursday, you're going to click on that. This will pop up. And then you have your work. And like I said, this is week 1. There's only 3 assignments, but pay attention to the actual due dates. But you have to complete all items and you have to do them in order. The only thing that is available right now is the introduction and the syllabus quiz. You have to take that and submit it before the next assignment will pop up for you. It won't pop up if you don't click and submit the first one. So they pop up. You only have the choice to work on one assignment at a time. All right. And then I'm going to remind you the SmartBook assignment. This is how you take notes for the semester. Directions aren't there yet. So we'll go to this one. SmartBook assignment. So in this class, you will be using the digital textbook to learn the material when we start a section. The pages may take a few minutes to load, so be patient. But we're going to watch this video for a walkthrough on how to complete the SmartBook assignments. Play. We'll get to that in a minute. You can redo these assignments as many times as you need to earn full credit. Each of these are worth 20 points unless they're really short. Sometimes they make them worth 10. I strongly recommend taking notes as you work through them. Like I said, the notes are what you get to use on your tests, on your quizzes and tests. Vocabulary words are highlighted through each section. Write down questions and the correct answers. Another video, how to take effective notes. And then on the bottom is ideas. If it's not working, you power wash your Chromebook. There's a bunch of ideas you can. Don't know why you don't want to. But we'll do this one instead. SmartBook for students. These are your notes.
SmartBook 2.0 helps you focus your study time, emphasize central topics, and test your understanding. It highlights important concepts in your current reading and presents questions to practice what you've learned. SmartBook is an adaptive learning tool, meaning it adjusts based on your practice, determining which concepts you have learned, and identifying any gaps in your understanding. Let's take a look at using SmartBook. You'll be assigned a chapter or module in SmartBook by your teacher. The assignment appears in your assignment list, as well as your dashboard calendar.
And on Canvas.
Please note that you can access SmartBook assignments on your tablet or phone using the Read Anywhere mobile app. When you launch the assignment, SmartBook is attached as a resource. When you open SmartBook, the first screen gives the due date, the expected duration of the activity, and the number of concepts covered. At the bottom, you have the option of starting with the reading or starting with the questions. In the reading portion, SmartBook presents the same text as found in your student edition. Yellow highlights present the important points to take away from the reading. Use the navigation arrows to page through the material. Use the arrows at the top to move to the next concept. If you exit the assignment, SmartBook will save your place, so you can continue from that point when you return. You can access the questions by selecting the button at the bottom of the window. The questions come from the reading and help you practice your knowledge. If you need help, select the link to learn more about it.
Those are the questions
When you're ready to submit, indicate how confident you are in your answer. You find out immediately if you answered correctly or not, along with the correct answer and the reasons behind it. Select Next Question to continue answering questions. When you have answered all the questions, select Complete Assignment. The final screen shows your progress, the number of questions you answered correctly, and a list of the concepts you found most challenging. In a SmartBook assignment, you must answer all the questions by the due date to complete the assignment. You'll receive 100% whether you answer the questions right or wrong. After you've completed the assignment, you can always return to it to recharge. In other words, to practice the concepts you don't feel comfortable with. Select Start Recharge to begin. In a recharge, in addition to yellow highlights for important concepts, the reading includes blue highlights, which indicate the concepts you need more help with. The SmartBook 2.0 algorithm adds questions in the practice that focus on the concepts you need more help with. You can recharge and review an assignment as many times as you wish. This concludes our look at SmartBook 2.0. Be sure to look at other help materials for more information about this program.
All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on Thursday.